The Golden State Warriors shocked the world at the trade deadline by trading for Jimmy Butler in one of the largest trades of his generation. While Butler will add some muscle and superstardom into the mix, the trade also opens up 3 roster slots, leaving it up to them to make those decisions as they slide into playoff mode. The roster is currently solid, but incomplete, and with the All-Star break, aggressive scouting in the buyout market is expected from the Warriors. In this story, we will take you through some of the important names Golden State should pursue to fortify their depth and add some much-needed spark. Let's get on with it. Freshly traded to the Wizards, Marcus Smart was already being mentioned as a potential buyout candidate. While there is no guarantee that the Wizards will let him go, Golden State ought to be at the front of the line. Smart is, by and large, talked about as one of the finest defensive guards of the modern era. And his feisty dog mentality would meld in right with Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. His value goes beyond the box score. In terms of making that winning play a loose ball dive, taking a big charge, or shutting down the other team's best scorer, he has got it. He brings a measure of toughness and leadership that the Warriors require if they are eyeing yet another long playoff run. With the already strong personalities in Green and Butler, adding another vocal leader who thrives in the clutch would be a benefit for the entire team. Offensively, Smart is not known for consistency, but he does contribute. His three-point productivity has always been really streaky through the years, but the guy proved that he can really hit those big shots. Besides, Smart is an underrated passer who could take on that secondary playmaking role that the Warriors need. This stretch in which he can run the offense would help to give Steph Curry more chances to play off-ball and create even more opportunities for Golden State's shooters. Defensively, Smart brings the already great Golden State defense to a whole new level. The player is able to guard multiple positions, switch easily from one to the next in a battle, and completely disrupt offensive continuity through his well-timed hands and basketball IQ. But with him, Butler and Green make maybe the biggest, most versatile, and most relentless defensive trio in the league. However, there is no guarantee that Smart will be bought out. Golden State should leave no stone unturned to bring him in if he becomes available. His playoff pedigree, defensive grit, and ability to make clutch plays make him the exact fit for any Warriors team trying to contend for the championship. Increased floor spacing is one thing that the Warriors need most. Bojan Bogdanovic fits exactly that in the buyout market for the Warriors. Though Bogdanovic is now nursing a foot injury, his past as a proven scorer and sniper makes him among the hottest names on the market. He's a dangerous weapon, averaging 22 points a game and shooting 41% from outside the arc during the 2022-23 season, as long as he is healthy. At the age of 35, although Bogdanovic may not boast much mobility or versatility as a defender yet, his offensive weapons compensate for it fully. With his skills in scoring from a variety of ways, whether spotting up for threes, cutting to the basket, or creating his own shot, he would provide the Warriors with a strong scoring option off the bench. Since defenses usually key in on Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, it makes it much more dynamic when it has a threat like Bogdanovic included in the offense of Golden State. The Warriors are not going to have Bogdanovic be a defensive stopper, which is already filled by Draymond Green, Butler, and Jonathan Kuminga. Bogdanovic's task? Simply shoot. At critical moments, having a guy who expands the floor and makes big shots is very precious, and Bogdanovic has proven time and time again that he can perform at the heights of pressure. One more advantage of signing Bogdanovic would be the experience of having a veteran in your roster. He has been in playoff battles before and understands what it takes to perform in the big Olympic-like setting. This is a Warriors team that prides itself on high basketball IQ and execution. And so Bogdanovic will be a seamless fit in that overall scheme. Now that health is the main concern, the upside on the trade with Bogdanovic would outweigh the risk of a potential downside. In the event that Bogdanovic becomes available, the Warriors should seriously consider adding this veteran sharpshooter to their playoff roster to give them a bit more boost. There is no denying that Kelly Olynyk may not be the most distinguished name in the buyout market. However, what makes for his skill set is relevance enough for the roster of Golden State Warriors. At 6'11", Olynyk does possess the ability to shoot over 40% on three-point shots, giving him the sort of floor spacing and versatility that Golden State yearns in their big men. Arguably, one big asset for Olynyk is his ability to stretch the floor, especially with the Warriors' defensive aces in Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney in the front court. There is thus a need for a big man who is going to loosen things up offensively. Olynyk's shooting would help to carve out driving lanes for Steph Curry while providing Golden State with another outlet in pick and pop. Aside from his shooting prowess, Olynyk is an underrated playmaker. Whether it's finding a cutter or making an extra pass, he enjoys the ball and quick decisions. This is the skill set that perfectly fits into Golden State's motion-heavy offense, where ball movement and unselfishness are the core values. He also brings playoff experience to the table and fits a Warriors team hoping to contend for titles. Defensively, Olynyk isn't a rim protector, but his basketball intelligence can serve him well in the right system. He is more than capable of holding up in switches and getting himself in good position to contest. While he isn't a defensive anchor, his scoring and floor spacing more than make up for his shortcomings on that side. Olynyk's veteran voice will help stabilize the rotation and give it depth, especially for a club that is heavily reliant on younger bigs like Quinn Post. Whether off the bench or sprinkled for important minutes, Olynyk will be a huge boost to the Warriors because of his ability to stretch the floor and make smart plays. Reuniting the Curry brothers at Golden State is a dream scenario, but quite realistically, the move should be there for consideration by the Warriors. Seth Curry happens to be one of the league's most consistent sharpshooters and an ideal buyout addition to help boost Golden State bench scoring and floor spacing. Currently shooting a whopping 45% from beyond the arc, Seth would provide the type of instant offense that the Warriors particularly need during those times when their starters are resting. While Seth's minutes have been inconsistent the entire season, the main draw to him is that he is still an elite shooter. Golden State would not need to create a big role for him. Just a few minutes per game would be enough to get a scoring spark out of him while keeping defenses honest. Putting Seth on the court alongside his brother Steph, Jimmy Butler, and would create spacing nightmares for opposing defenses. Imagine having multiple elite shooters spreading the floor. With Steph and Jimmy drawing attention, Seth could feast on open looks. One of Seth's underrated strengths is his ability to create his own shot when necessary. While not a primary ball handler, he's capable of attacking closeouts and scoring off the dribble in pinch situations. Such versatility makes him more than just a spot-up shooter and adds another layer to Golden State's bench offense. Defensively, Seth is not the kind of player who locks down his opponent, but he competes hard and plays according to what is required of him. On a Warriors roster already loaded with defensive anchors like Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga, Seth wouldn't have to carry a whole bunch of weight on that side of the floor. His job would simply be to create distance from the defense, catch easy pockets of open shots, and let the offense just flow. Another thing to consider is the emotional aspect of bringing the Curry brothers together. Seth hasn't really shied away from talking about how fun it was to be around Golden State at the beginning of his career, so moving back to the Bay could just be the place to renew that confidence, invincible, familiar system. For the Warriors, that type of move to add one of the best shooters in the league to their already loaded arsenal is a no-brainer if Seth hits the buyout market. The most mixed name on this list would have to be Ben Simmons. This young talent, once admired to be one of the brightest stars of tomorrow, has been under everybody's radar for his sharp downfall owing to injuries, confidence issues, and subsequently poor performance. If Simmons ended up on the buyout market, he might find a nice team in the Golden State Warriors to revive his game. Simmons at his best is indeed a unique talent. 6 feet, 10 inches tall, with elite playmaking, guarding, and rebounding abilities. Even if people concluded about how he wouldn't shoot the boo-hoo of scoring, he hasn't lent full weight to shooting, but still can make a big impact. For now, the former only in Golden State, Netherlands, playing with Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler in this entire system, would probably support Simmons in having that same atmosphere or setup where he could derive his strengths from fostering a thriving culture. The Warriors might have Simmons serving as an enforcer on the defense, for defense is his forte. He can guard anywhere from 1 to 5, disrupting opposing offenses with his size, quickness, and instincts. With Simmons lining up alongside the likes of Green, Butler, and Jonathan Kuminga, the Warriors would have one of the most switchable and suffocating defenses in the business. Offensively, Simmons can trigger easy scoring opportunities for Golden State's shooters because of his passing wizardry. Of course, signing Simmons would represent a gamble. His scoring confidence is still a major question mark, and his tendency to disappear in big moments has generated frustration among fans and coaches alike. But maybe the Warriors' winning culture and solid leadership is precisely what Simmons needs to get back on track. Under Green and Butler's leadership, Simmons wouldn't have to bear as much of the burden and could afford to focus on maximizing his own strengths. Chances are Simmons might never become the superstar everyone thought, but Simmons could still be a valuable accessory on a championship-level roster. If the Warriors think they can help Simmons rekindle his confidence and maximize what makes him different, they might just want to roll the dice. If the Warriors miss out on their top choices, here are a few other players they may want to think about. Marvin Bagley III, an up-and-coming young, athletic big man capable of rebounding and scoring around the rim. Reggie Jackson, a veteran guard who can contribute points and steady play off the bench. Chris Bojan, a long forward with blocking and three-point range. PJ Tucker, a gritty veteran who can knock down corner threes and defend multiple positions. The Golden State Warriors have not held back in showing their intentions. They are all in for a championship run. They have acquired Jimmy Butler, and all on paper says Golden State has the star power, but it's weak in the areas that need to be filled in order to compete effectively with the rest of the top teams in the Western Conference. The buyout market that takes place over the next 2 months provides a unique opportunity to fill those gaps on their roster. Whether that means adding toughness with Marcus Smart, shooting with Bojan Bogdanovic, or bringing dissimilarity with Kelly Olynyk, the Warriors have the options. Who do you think they should target? Comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to get more Warriors content. And as always, keep it locked here, as we prepare for Jimmy Butler's debut and the second half of the season.